What's your name?
I'm Sholazu Rai.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Tell me about that night. What happened?
On August 5th, around 8 p.m, just after Hasina left, a mob of about 100 armed men stormed in. Machetes, sticks, they had everything. They were shouting, "Hindus have no right to stay here. Get out of here, go to India. If you stay here, we'll kill you." Then they destroyed everything, our homes, temples, our lives. And the worst part was we could do nothing about it. We were outnumbered, scared and powerless. And ever since, we've been living in constant fear.
Shorzu and his neighbors claim they personally knew some of the attackers.
Yeah, I'd say we personally know like about 100 of them.
How do you know them?
They're from nearby villages. We've known them for ages. They're all Muslims against Sheikh Hasina's Awami League, and that's why they attacked us as soon as her government fell. It's because us Hindus have always voted for the Awami League because they're the only party we believe can protect us. That's why they want us gone, to grab our land. And it's not just us who were attacked. In villages just 3-4 kilometers from here, other Hindus have been through the same thing. A few were even beaten quite badly. And we have tried to report this to the local authorities. We've been to the local police station 3-4 times, but they couldn't do anything about it.
He leads me into what's left of his house.
Look at what they've done to my house.
All the windows are broken, the roof has fallen, the whole thing is burnt.
Careful getting in. Watch your head. They smashed the windows with hammers, then drenched everything in gasoline and set it on fire.
How scary.
Yeah, it was really scary. And I kept thinking as it was happening that us Hindus can't stay here anymore. But how can we? We have nowhere else to go and I'm scared for tomorrow.
Did anyone get hurt when they were attacking your house?
No. When we heard they were coming, we ran to our next door neighbour's house to hide, who are actually a Muslim family. But because they sheltered us, their house was attacked too.
How do you know that they burned their house because you guys were hiding there?
Well, it's obvious. Only the 9 Muslim families who hid Hindus in their houses were attacked. The rest were untouched. Let me take you to her.
Only a few meters and it's the house of their Muslim neighbor. Hello, assalamu alaikum. We step into a small courtyard, once lush with plants, now scorched and barren. This is where Shorzu's family hid for hours before fleeing the village. Surrounding the area are newly constructed tin walls, built just days ago. At the center stands a modest brick house, its walls still blackened by fire. A petite woman in a headscarf emerges, 2 young children clinging to her.
Look at my house. This is what they did just because they sheltered my Hindu neighbors. They were shouting, "You gave shelter to Hindus? You gave shelter to Hindus?" Then they broke everything, stole everything. I had 2 cows, 2 goats. They took them all.
What were you doing when they came to your house and started setting it on fire?
Well, they didn't come for me at first. They were attacking the Hindu homes. So by around 11 p.m., by which time my Hindu neighbors had already fled from my house, I thought it was all over. But then suddenly the attackers came here. I hid in this room with my 5-year-old daughter. We were terrified. I shut the door, yelling, "We are only women and children. Please leave us alone." But they kicked the door down and came in and started destroying everything. My little girl was crying. She kept asking, "Mama, what's happening? What will happen to us?" Even now, she is still traumatized. She keeps waking up in the middle of the night screaming. I can't sleep either. The trauma haunts us both.
As a Muslim, what is your view about the attacks that have been taking place against Hindus and other minorities in this country?
I feel disgusted that such terror can happen in my country. Nobody should be treated this way. No one can ever convince me to harm Hindu or any minority. My faith doesn't teach this. It's not what being Muslim is about.
As darkness falls, it's no longer safe to stay. We hurry back to the car as villagers warn us of frequent threats from the attackers. Bonomali and Shokanto are especially on edge, citing ongoing threats linked to their activism. They tell me they've reported the attack on the village to the local police numerous times. but that no action has been taken.
They told me that they're also investigating this and they are protecting them, but I don't think they're properly doing their job.
If they are properly doing their job, people can back their house, but still they are not backing. It means they are not properly taking proper step to secure their life. When you came here, you saw that there is no police. After this kind of vandalism, police need to apply their force here for the security, but we are not seeing this here.
You're listening to the documentary on the BBC World Service. I'm Sahar Zand, and I'm in Bangladesh, investigating attacks on Hindus in the country. MD Kamrul Ahsan is the Deputy Inspector General and a senior officer responsible for restoring law and order in the country. He agreed to answer questions via video call on the police response to the attacks.
You need to understand the composition of police in a particular locality. Police can respond, but police cannot be kept in a particular point for a long time. And we want the community leaders as well to make report as early as possible to us so that we can respond to incidents every time.
But I have spoken to some of the Hindu community leaders and some of the victims, and they say that they have reported these incidents to the police, but they've seen no actions, they've seen no change.
That is not correct, in fact. We are trying to address every single incident. We are taking actions and we are just getting into the steps to normalize all the issues. So we are addressing it. You have to give us time. So it is gradually developing.
So do you agree that you're not doing enough at the moment?
No, I disagree.
But then you just said give us time. If you think you're doing enough, then what do you need time for?
Our biggest challenge is to make everyone understand we want to work for them as well. That is the challenge. To get back the trust is the first task of our service, definitely. What happened during the revolution, the excessive use of force, the violence, and the attacks on the innocent people, it went wrong, actually. Our citizens, they could not get us as their friend or as their problem solver. They took us as their enemy, in fact.
Some of the activists I spoke to on the ground, they told me that they've been reporting every single attack they come across to the police, but that they've seen no or very little action from the police, nothing meaningful done by the police.
No, I disagree. We are taking it seriously right now. Already, we have arrested the miscreants already. We have arrested.
How many people have you arrested?
It must be more than 4 or 5 already.
What can you tell me about these attackers? Who are they?
Yeah, definitely they are the Muslims. You know, in our country, the land litigation is a major problem. In that village, they had the land litigation for the long time. They wanted to get the land back, but they could not do it. So they just tried to escape them. And they took the chance at the time of the non-actioning of the police on the final day of the deadly movement. So on 5th August, we have seen that more than 1,484 events took place. These events are actually political, not the religious issue. So the Hindus are being attacked deliberately. That is not true. But
so do you not agree that these attacks against Hindus have been taking place because they're Hindus?
No, it is not true.
But isn't it true that a lot of Hindus have disproportionately been impacted?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Then is that a coincidence?
No. Actually, the incidents, that was absolutely political, not based on the religious issue.
But then I saw with my own eyes several Hindu families, non-political people, women, children, attacked, their houses burned, their villages torn apart, their families torn apart. Do you not think that those attacks happened?
Yeah, it happened. I do agree. But these attacks are not the targeted attacks to the Hindus.
What do you mean they're not? Sorry, what do you mean they're not targeted attack towards Hindus? Who are they targeted to then? Because it's Hindus who are disproportionately getting attacked.
Yeah. Actually, you see, some Hindus and the Hindu families are quite clustered family. So when they attack on particular 1 or 2 targets, it appears that the 10, 15, or 18 families are being attacked. That they went to go for 1 or 2 maybe cases, but incidentally it came up to more than 5, 6, 7, or 8 families.
But whatever their reason was, whether they were after their land or whatever other reason, they didn't attack Muslim families for their lands. They attacked Hindu families. So these attacks are against Hindus. Are you denying that's the case?
No, I'm not denying. It is true that it happened.
Yeah,
But
and
the
it's
way-
still happening. They don't feel protected. They are fearing for their lives.
Actually, I don't know why they feel fear. We see all the people of Bangladesh in the same footing. So it is not true, in fact.
Over the course of an hour-long interview, Kamrul Ahsan repeatedly denies that the attacks are religiously motivated. He insists that the police are doing enough to protect all Bangladeshi citizens, dismissing allegations of inaction. This, Shukanto says, is the root of many of their problems.
Still, they are not acknowledging that the minorities are under attack. When they acknowledge this, then we get justice. Without acknowledge, we never get justice.
In another Hindu-majority village at around midnight, a group of 5 men sit in a circle playing music in darkness, illuminated only by moonlight and the flicker of their fire. One of the musicians, speaking anonymously out of fear, explains that they gather here every night, haunted by concerns for their lives and the safety of their families.
We Hindus are in constant panic that something's bad is gonna happen to us, and we're hearing about all these houses burning and people being attacked. Just 500 meters from here, one of the Hindu homes was put on fire just a few days ago. So this is very real for us, and because of that, we are living in fear, but also staying vigilant. So that's why we have to stand guard.
They show me their makeshift weapons, machetes and wooden sticks studded with nails. They believe that these crude defenses are their only means of protecting themselves and their community.
We have 2 teams. One shift, our shift will stay here till 1:30 a.m. and then another shift's gonna come in and they're gonna stay awake till sunrise. As we are making noise, miscreants and the criminals, they don't dare to come near our community. If miscreants come in a gang, everybody will wake up, will shout to the top of our lungs, and everybody will join us to fend them off.
How long do you think you're going to have to keep this up for? How long can you keep this up for?
Until the situation becomes normal like before, we have to stay awake. There is no ifs and buts. We have to do it. Even a few days ago, 2-3 kilometers from here, one of the idols that we worship was vandalized. So we cannot take that risk. Until and unless the situation becomes normal, we can go back to our home. We have to stay vigilant.
Since my birth, I almost never felt it like this, that we are minorities. But and now, in present situation, and I'm completely feeling it, that yeah, I'm a minority, and somehow some people doesn't want to allow me to live here.
You have been listening to the documentary on the BBC World Service. This program for Heart and Soul was presented and produced by me, Sahar Zand. The executive producer is Rajiv Gupta. In the next episode, I'll continue my investigation, witnessing violence myself, and this time, delving deeper into the motives behind the attacks on Hindus.